My name is Bertus Basson. I'm a South African chef, restaurateur and entrepreneur. We are currently in one of my restaurants in Stellenbosch called Acre. We're based in Stellenbosch, the second oldest settlement in South Africa. We're on the cusp of the Karoo, which is a semi-desert area that produces some amazing produce. We're also close to the west coast with an ecology of its own and wonderful produce. We're close to the ocean, so we get great fish. And we're obviously in the winelands as well, so wine is not a problem for us in Stellenbosch at all. We're about 40 minutes from Cape Town, so it means that we're sort of in the center of the world of all the greatest produce available in our region. I was born in Cape Town, South Africa, and grew up in the north of the country. I have a passion for South Africa, its people, our produce, food, cooking, and our traditions. South African cuisine draws influences from all over the world. We use the incredible amount of spices, we have indigenous ingredients, and we obviously cook with European techniques. But this is also depicted in my restaurants. My restaurants are as diverse as South African cuisine. We have everything from super casual places, a pizza joint and a burger joint, to finer restaurants that really focus on the essence of being South African. A little burger joint, for example, only sells free-range grass-fed beef, and we bake every potato by ourselves in one of our kitchens. Our little pizza place focuses on local produce, local flour, milled locally, and fermented properly. And we make incredible pizzas. This restaurant where we are now, Acre, the sole focus of this restaurant is just to tell the stories of South African cuisine in a very cool way. No long menus and no nonsense. We do a simple 3-course meal telling South African stories and serving traditional South African fare and ingredients. We have a beautiful restaurant called Clara's Barn. Clara's Barn is on a historical wine farm called Vergenoegd, and at Clara's Barn we focus on South African farm cooking and really peasant food and elevate it in a really beautiful way. In all of our restaurants we have some form of open fire cooking, so here for example fire is very prevalent in all of our cooking, and the same at Clara's Barn. We have a beautiful restaurant called Chorus, also on a wine farm called Waterkloof. Chorus is more contemporary in its way and its cooking. However, it's still very South African, and it's got beautiful views over False Bay, which is just around the corner from us. We have a little wine bar called Spek and Bone, or in English, Spek and Bone. It's named after my pet pig. Yes, I have a pig living in my garden, and one of my dogs called Bone. And it's a wonderful little place that's a small place to share, and wonderful wines from all over South Africa, not just from our region. And the focus is sort of geeky wines, really special stuff, and amazing food. Spek and Bone, although it's very South African in its core, our chef Michael has a love for Asian cuisine, so it's got touches of very authentic and simple and stylish touches of Asian cooking woven into South African food. I've never felt the need to cook with imported fresh produce in South Africa. We have an abundance of fresh seasonal produce, some indigenous, like our game meat, wild herbs, wild mushrooms in winter, obviously fish, incredible things, and wild vegetables, things like mopani worms, and really interesting things to cook with, inspiring produce. We also have a wonderful farming collective in South Africa, so we get great beef, the most amazing lamb in the world that is herbaceous and really incredible, great free-range pork, amazing chicken. So there's enough for us to work with here without having to feel the need to import things and to emulate sort of being somewhere else. We realize that we live in Africa. We don't live in America, and this is definitely not Europe. This space is special, and we celebrate where we are. In all of our restaurants, we value seasonal produce-driven cooking over trends and fads. We'd rather have technical food that is made well than things that sort of pretend to be what they're not. We love authenticity and simplicity. I'd rather eat simple, delicious food that is authentic than eat something that is not true to itself. So we'd like to show people who we are through what we do. And who we are is we're South Africans, and we show it through what we cook. In our restaurants, we work hard to find fresh, local produce. But in reality, we don't try too hard. We don't overthink things, we don't overcomplicate things, we keep it as simple as possible and as focused as possible. For us, authenticity is everything. Authenticity means more than following trends and fads. Authenticity means that it is what it is, and we are what we are. The joy of being South African is that we have 11 official languages. We have influences from all over the world. We've got populations in our country from European descent, Indian descent, African descent. It's incredible. Our food influences and our diversity is our strength. The diversity of our people is our strength. And a great joy for us is to see young people in our kitchens thrive and do well, better themselves, and learn new techniques and learn new skills. We have a wonderful work culture in South Africa. South Africans are not lazy. We know how to work extremely hard, and we know how to sort of overcome difficulties in any way. There's a saying in my country that says, a boer maak 'n plan. And really it means that you make a plan when something goes wrong. That's us. We're resourceful and resilient people, and we get things done. But our true strength and the core of our strength lies in the diversity of our people. With that diversity, we also have diversity in cooking ingredients that is really found anywhere else in the world. Where in the world can we marry Asian spices with local indigenous game and call it South African? It's our own food, and it's a special place to be. It's a special place to cook, and I wish you visit us and you come and see for yourself. This is a unique space. We're lucky to be South African, and we're proud to call ourselves South Africans.